Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm doing a concert review for The Answer, who I saw on the 17th of October 2013 at Manchester Academy Free. So yeah, and supporting them was Tracer. And yeah, so not like me to do a concert review so, well, close to actually when I saw it, but there you go, trying to get them in a more timely fashion. So first, we'll take a look, I suppose, at Tracer. We'll take a look at the support band. Now, Tracer are a band that they've been on my radar for a while. I've been aware of them, and in fact, I was planning to review their latest album, El Pistolero, earlier this year, but just didn't get round to it for various reasons and various other albums I wanted to focus on, really. But no, they've definitely been a band on my radar. I think they're Australian, and they have a pretty interesting sound, you know, sort of hard rock sound to them, really. Now, I'm afraid I can't find no exact set list, and honestly, I don't know them well enough to know exactly what they played. You know, I just know bits and bobs of them, to be honest. But I did get their album at the show, El Pistolero, and they literally seemed to hang around by the merch stand for just ages, and, you know, signing things, and, you know, just having conversations with people, which is always cool, And, yeah, very good band live. I definitely said they're one of those bands, a bit like the Choir Boys, I say earlier this year, who are better live than in the studio. Some of the songs they played from this album, I'm pretty sure they played El Pistolero, I think they played Hangman. I'm not sure of the other names they particularly played, but the songs were definitely better live. They just had more of an energy to them and a more raucous feel, which, you know, you always tend to get from a live performance, but particularly amplified. And Michael Brown, who's the lead singer and rhythm guitarist, yeah, I mean, he really just went for it, and he's got great voice, really nice riffs, and particularly I want to give commendations to the bassist, who weirdly, well, even though he's photoed on this album, according to the notes, he didn't actually play bass on any of it, but there you go, he certainly sounded like he played bass on it, because his bass was just fantastic. He played a sort of lead bass style that I've always been a fan of, you know, the bands like Motorhead with Lemmy pioneers, you know, and even maybe Thin Lizzy with Phil Lynott to a degree. So yeah, and Steve Harris as well, he is quite one for more sort of lead bass. And yeah, bass definitely to the forefront. They're just a three-piece, you know, bassist, drummer, and, you know, well, I suppose lead / rhythm guitarist, you know, a bit wrong to just go on rhythm guitarist, does play some solos. And yeah, just a really fun live band, to be honest. So let's move on to The Answer. So they're supporting a new album, New Horizon, which I will be reviewing soon on my channel. And I've heard rumours that really this is really make or break for them. That they're, you know, just about staying afloat, and really they need this album and this tour to be a success for them to continue as a band, or they may just have to, like Sacred Mother Tongue did, call it a day, which of course would be a shame for these Irish AC/DC inspired rockers who in fact supported AC/DC on their Black Ice tour. So what songs from albums do they play? Well, they play mostly from New Horizon, play about 6 songs from the new album. Yeah, they play 3 from Rise, which I believe was their first album. They play 2 from Everyday Demons, and they play a couple from Revival. Now, so Rise, yeah, that's, you know, decent. Now, Everyday Demons, in my opinion, definitely their best. Fantastic, have it here, fantastic hard rock album. Unfortunately, they don't have Rise, their first album. This is their second. But because this has a bonus disc with some live tracks, I do know songs like Memphis Water. And then we had Revival after Everyday Demons, which really didn't go down very well. I can't say I've listened to the whole album, I've only really had the singles, and it's, you know, it's meant to be alright, but just nothing that special. But New Horizon, I've listened to in its entirety, and yeah, so far it's a good album, a strong album, definitely has some really killer tracks. Though, you know, some not as good as others, you know, not the best album of the year, but it's certainly decent. And it definitely played some of the best songs live, songs like Spectacular, the single, which is, well, I hate to say it, but it really is quite a spectacular song, to be honest. New Horizon, the title track as well. Overall, it's a pretty strong set. The only song I really would have wanted them to play was probably On and On. On and On is, well, yeah, On and On's a great song, but also Too Far Gone. To be honest, the first 3 songs on this album I would have had to play. I just think they're such killer opening tracks, those 3. But unfortunately, the songs they did play, of course they played Demon Eyes, I mean that's probably their most famous song, but they also played Comfort Zone, which it's a decent song, you know, definitely, but you know, it's not their best song. But yeah, definitely a strong set. I mean, you know, it really was. And the encore was Demon Eyes, Comfort Zone, and Preachin. It was quite interesting for Preachin, where he actually went into the audience and, you know, while still singing, literally, you know, right in the middle of the crowd, and got everyone to bend down on their knees, which was odd. I'm not saying you often get concerts, but it was pretty fun. To have him do that at the end, you know, nice encore. So what about the sound? Well, I think the sound was very good, to be honest. I really didn't have any gripes from the first track they played, New Horizon, to Preachin'. There really didn't seem to be any technical difficulties, no sheep in the mix, and yeah, everything, you could hear all the instruments very clearly, but, you know, as it should, it still had that live, slightly rawer edge to it that you really want, you know. The way the guitar solos just have a more spontaneous feel to them instead of on the studio, you know, they can feel slightly flatter sometimes, you know. Yeah, I'd say as a band they performed very well, really. I mean, you know, Cormac, I think that's his name. Great voice, really strong voice, to be honest. It's one of the best things about the answer, is his voice. And yeah, I mean, if you like that type of AC/DC blues rock, I mean, I'm not sure you can really quite call them blues rock. They sort of, they're in the middle between hard rock and blues rock, really. They have some bluesy elements to them. Some of their songs, Preachin' was a pretty bluesy song. You know, a couple of others were particularly bluesy. Leave with Nothin, I thought was. But a lot of their songs are just playing out hard rock. I mean, Spectacular, New Horizon, they're Demon Eyes as well, pretty much just all out hard rock songs, but really big choruses, and they came across very live. I definitely recommend seeing this band, and I really hope they continue for many years to come. Yeah, great night, really. So this has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing as usual. Long live rock and roll.